up, we have the Grammy Award nominee, the musician, producer, and the first true renowned DJs, Paul Van Dyke. So, guten Tag, Paul.
Guten
Welcome to the
Tag.
show.
Thank you.
So, how are you doing? And are you excited to be excited to come to Dubai?
I'm fine, and I'm definitely excited to come to Dubai. It's the first time I'm leaving Europe for quite a few months, so that's going to be good.
Are you returning to Dubai after a long time, or is it your? It's not your first time, right?
No, it's not the first time. I played in Dubai many, many times, but obviously because of the pandemic, I wasn't able to travel really anywhere. So it's going to be, despite the fact that I'm really looking forward to kind of play a show in Dubai, it's also going to be the first time leaving Europe for a while.
Okay, so if you've performed in Dubai before, so have you had any crazy fan experiences here?
Well, I wouldn't say crazy fan experiences, but I remember actually like making a skydive jump, and that was quite something. And yeah, like a lot of amazing things.
Oh, so you went skydiving.
Yes, yes, yes. I was invited by the skydive to Dubai people to kind of like jump with them, and I was concerned, but it was awesome. It was really amazing.
Oh my God. So you went skydiving over the palm and you got the whole view and everything.
Yes, it is phenomenal.
It
It
is
looks
phenomenal.
phenomenal.
Nice. And any favorite restaurants or hangout spots here in Dubai that you can
And
remember?
the thing is, I haven't really like spent time in regards to, like being there hanging out, because the thing is the shows are usually on a Thursday. So I'm always have to rush out to kind of, be somewhere else for the weekend. And so there's never really much time to kind of that I did spend, but the little bit of time that I spend, I really enjoy.
Okay, so getting in deep now. So your career has spanned across decades and generations. So what's the one thing you've learned across all this time in the entertainment industry?
In order to not go completely crazy, you have to know why you do what you do. And if you're a musician, it should be the love for music, because everything else can come and go. But if you know this is the music I love, this is the music I want to do, then it brings you through the good and the bad times.
Oh, that's amazing. So now, if you had to give advice to your younger self or anyone entering the entertainment industry, is there something that you've learned along your way that you would want to pass down, words of wisdom, or I mean, like any kind of advice?
Well, it's like in deeper terms, if you start out doing something with friends, it makes a lot of sense to take a little piece of paper. It doesn't have to be a contractual sort of thing, just a little piece of paper where you write down why you're doing and under what conditions. It might come handy at some point. I learned that myself. So that's a good one. And the other thing is really, you should really think why you want to enter this, because it's like if you look at the many many musicians and artists in this world, there's maybe 0.001% that can actually live of it. And you really really have to love what you do in order to go through all the things. Despite all the fun, it is also a lot of work, and that's what I mean. You need to know what's your love, what's your passion in it, and why are you doing it. If it's just about fame and money or something, then nothing is guaranteed, and it also comes and goes. It needs to be the love for the music.
Oh, that's amazing. That's really good advice. So always have that conversation with yourself that you can remember later and that keeps you true to your craft.
Yeah, just as an example, imagine you make a piece of music that is really, let's say, on the edge. You don't really like it yourself, you just think it's going to be popular, and it's not becoming popular. Then you've done something you don't like, it didn't actually get you where you wanted, and it's just depressing. So at least, like, if you make the music you really really love and nobody wants to hear it, you can at least say, hey, what, I love it.
Oh, very true. So you said it's not about the fame and the fortune, but if you had to choose between the two, fame or fortune, which one would you choose? Like fame or money?
um my way of living and my world doesn't function in these terms. It's more about about love and being a decent person and being actually real to the world. And then, of course, the passion for something. And if all that actually leads to become famous, fair enough, but that should not be the aim. And if it like manages to kind of like that you earn an amount of money that allows you a certain freedom in life, that's good too. But none of that is guaranteed.
Oh, that's amazing. We stand that. Love that. Okay, so your career manifested during your radio days. So can you tell us a little bit more about how the two intertwined?
How what? I'm sorry, I did
Your
what?
career, it started during your
Oh,
radio days, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So can you tell us
You
a
mean
little
me
bit?
making the radio? Okay.
Mhm.
Well, the thing is that obviously when I was a kid, I was always listening to the radio and doing my homeworks, when I came back from school. So this is why radio became really important to me. And when I had the chance of actually starting my own radio show and playing the music I love so much to other people, that obviously was a chance I took, because you also have to understand back in those days, the music wasn't on the radio. There wasn't only any electronic music on the radio. There was also no internet where you could just kind of like click on Spotify and listen to whatever you wanted to listen to. So we had to kind of, first of all, create the music we wanted to listen to. And then we also, through radio shows, had to kind of like present the music we wanted to listen to. And so it obviously became a very important part of what I do and still is. And the Vonic Sessions radio show, as an example, is in 52 countries on the planet. And, that's obviously a weekly audience that listens to my understanding of how electronic music should sound. And that's, on one hand, a great honor that people do so. On the other hand, it's a great responsibility to always kind of like choose music that has something to say.
Right. So, next question. I just want to. So, it was illegal Western music while you were growing up. So, how did you and your friends go around that?
Well, I grew up in East Berlin, so obviously it's like I was able to illegally listen to the West Berlin radio stations. And back in those days, there were those tape recorders. So we taped the music, and then we just played it back in the basement of some friend's house or something, and had our real house parties.
Oh, so that way you got into Western music and the whole vibe of it?
Yeah, that's that's the way we just basically recorded the music that was played, and yeah, made our own scenario out of it.
Loopholes 101.
Yep.
Um, but is there any celebrity, not celebrity, any musician that you haven't yet collaborated with, but you aren't like you're looking forward to that collaboration if it ever does happen?
um I don't really have like a bucket list of like people I want to work with or something. It's like it's usually when I write a piece of music and I think, okay, that artist could collaborate in a way that it gives something extra to the track.
Mm-hmm.
And then it happens. And of course, working with like friends is always even more fun than with people you don't really know. And I mean, since my, I don't know, teenage days, I've been always a big fan of bands like Depeche Mode. So working with them obviously was a huge thing for me. At the same time, in this moment, when you work on the piece of music, it doesn't become Depeche Mode versus Paul van Dyk or something. It becomes just artists having an idea and bringing something together and creating a piece of music.
So, any celebrity crushes?
No.
No. Or any memorable collabs thus far?
Um, well, it's like, it's like collaborations with my dear friend Johnny are always special. We've done Home and Time of Our Lives together. And what's like special about these collaborations is like he comes from a completely different music world. He's part of Snow Patrol, so it's like, his sounds are very different than mine, but we have the same feel in regards to what music should do. Music should always sort of come across and sort of like reaches to people. And so when we work together, it's always very interesting. It's always very challenging in a positive way.
Oh, so you guys are on the same page and that's what you like.
No, the things we're not on the same page. We're coming from completely different books,
Okay.
but we have the same understanding of what
Mm.
the reader should take from
Okay.
the book.
Okay, okay. Got it. So now how would you describe the change in electronic music from the 90s, from the early 90s to now?
Um, in the beginning, the DJ was the freak in the corner while everyone else had fun. And now there are big stages with big productions and people doing interviews with DJs. That wasn't really happening in the beginning of the 90s. As I said, there was no radio station playing on our music. There was no internet where you could just click and listen to it. We had to make what we wanted to listen to.
Mm-hmm. Also, that's one of the biggest drastic changes from the 90s to now that you would point your fingers at.
Well, yeah, I mean, and all the developments in between is like, that you see with any sort of musical subgenre that, it starts kind of undergroundy, maybe 100 people listening to it, and suddenly it's 100,000, and then there's like 10 million. You have these curves in everyone's career and also in everyone's sort of like, let's say, artistical output.
So during COVID-19, like we saw a lot of DJs coming online and putting on performances, like remote performances from their homes, from their basements. So were you up to anything during the lockdown?
We did quite from the start early on something called the Sunday sessions,
Mm-hmm.
which it's like whenever I'm in Berlin on Sundays, I still do. The special thing there is you not just see myself, people via Zoom can actually log themselves into the stream, so we can really interact with each other and people interact with each other. And that's also the important bit of the Sunday sessions, because it gives a feel of togetherness. Nobody's just like left alone and being in some lockdowns. Like, you feel there are other people experiencing the same things and you kind of interact with them. And that to me is like the far more important aspect than whatever kind of music I would play there. It's like really the interaction of everyone with each other. It's kind of a global community that developed through it.
So would you say like through COVID-19 you found a more wholesome way to connect with your fans, even though it's
No, not at
virtual?
all.
No, not at all. You would still consider
No, no, not
physical
at all. There's
concerts to
like
be.
nothing can beat the real life interaction between human beings in one room connected through music. Nothing can beat that.
Not even virtual.
No, but especially not virtual. I think it's like, much more important to sort of feel the energy of a person rather than just seeing it on the screen.
Yeah, very true. So, you are performing live for Dubai on Thursday at the Coca-Cola Arena. So, is there anything you have, like anything we can look forward to, anything we can expect?
Well, first of all, I hope you look forward to the whole thing. It's like the fact that it's happening is obviously something that at least to me is very exciting. And I just heard the news that this is going to be the first event where people are actually allowed to dance. So that's going to be something that obviously I hope everyone is embracing to the fullest. And in regards to expectations, well, the thing is, I always have a clear idea about what I want to do, but it's always down to the interaction with the audience. And of course, on social media, I saw people requesting me to play for an angel and all
Mm.
all these things. And I will, as like, I have the feeling when people come to see me, they don't think the set is complete without me having played those tracks. So I will do that.
Which three tracks
And
are the most requested for? Would you say?
I think it's like probably For an Angel, Time of Our Lives, Home, well, Music Rescues Me, Nothing But You. So these are the ones that they in a constant sort of
Request.
request spiral. And but it's also, as I said, I had the chance of actually making quite a lot of music as well throughout the last months, and you're going to be able to hear some new stuff from the next album
Ooh,
too.
yes, that's what I was asking through the question. Like so basically what I want to ask was like any new tracks that people will be looking forward to. But yeah, like you said, there will be some new tracks dropping, so that's exciting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much, Paul Van Dyke. It was great speaking to you. Danke.
Bitteschön und danke auch und dann bis Donnerstag.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen.